It's saying that there,
We haven't got, well, yeah, anybody, okay,
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
thank you.
Alrighty, sir, we are live.
Okay.
Yes, sir, we are live.
All right, good morning, everyone. Let's call court to order. Today is Tuesday, April the 6th, 2021. It's 9:01 a.m. It's the morning after the Baylor Bears won the national championship. Long time coming. Congratulations to Baylor University, Coach Scott Drew and all his staff, and of course the players, and as well as the fans that gave large support to the event, both locally and in Indianapolis as well. So very proud of that. I know I can extend from the Commissioner's Court the congratulations to all mentioned. Okay, at this time, we'll pause briefly for a moment of silence, and then we'll have,
Proof of posting,
pardon me?
proof of posting.
Okay, proof of posting, please.
The agenda was posted on Thursday, April 1st, 2021 at 4:40 p.m.
Thank you. All right, let's have a moment of silence, and then we'll have a pledge to the flags. Okay. All right, under D, there's numerous proclamations here. Under D1 is a proclamation recognizing and honoring Tom G. Salome. There is we still need a little documentation, so I'd like to defer that until we finish that proclamation. So I'll make a motion, we defer.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Under D2 is proclamation in loving memory of Reverend Mitchell Lee Davis. Commissioner Miller?
Good morning, and I apologize for not being able to be on the screen. I'm just going through little technical difficulties, but we'll get it straightened out here shortly. But yes, I have several proclamations, and so I'll go ahead and run through all of those
Thank you.
for the court. The first one is a proclamation in loving memory of Reverend Mitchell Lee Davis, who was a pastor, business owner, counselor, mentor, civic leader, and also the proclamation honors the legacy of he and his wife, Mr. and Mrs. Mitch and Joyce Davis. Pastor Davis was the owner and operator of Mitch's Corner on 25th and Colonial. For 32 years, it was a convenience store in the neighborhood, and he will be sorely missed, but his legacy will live on in his wife and in his daughters. He passed here recently, and it's a great loss to our community. The second proclamation recognizes Andrew Jashawn Mourns Jones on achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. He's a young man, a senior honor student at Waco High, and he has reached the level of Eagle Scout. There will be a special ceremony where he will be pinned his medal and his badge this Saturday. At that time, we will present his proclamation to him. Going back to the Davis Proclamation in May, his wife is going to honor the milestone of their being in the community for 32 years. And so we will issue that or present that proclamation to the Davis family in May. The third proclamation I have is acknowledging the month of April 2021 as Drive Electric Earth Month in McLennan County. And it's a proclamation acknowledging the use of electric cars and it's their influence or effect rather on our it's a green initiative and its impact on clean air. The next proclamation recognizes and honors Mrs. Odessa Gray Bowie. Mrs. Bowie reached her 107th birthday. This, excuse me, I got a message that threw me off. Miss Bowie had turned 107 this past Saturday. And so that was just a milestone that very few of us will reach or have reached. And so it was an honor to give her that proclamation. And the last proclamation recognizes the 75th anniversary of the Delta Alpha Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And just on a personal note, that is my sorority. It's also the sorority of our new vice president. Not to date myself, but I was initiated as an undergraduate in spring of 1979 at East Texas State University, which if you know anything about East Texas State University, it ages you because now it's called Texas A&M at Commerce. So it's been a little while since I've been out of college, but in joining the graduate chapter, Delta Alpha Omega, we will be celebrating our 75th anniversary as an organization and our community service to Waco McLennan County for 75 years. And again, we will have a special virtual ceremony on Saturday, April the 17th. At that time, I will present the proclamation during our virtual celebration. Going back to Miss Bowie, her proclamation was given to her and it was read at her birthday celebration this past Saturday. So if there are no comments or questions on any of those proclamations, I would move to approve D2, D3, D4, D5, and D6.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Pass. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
All right, I'll ask Dustin to go through the agenda items. I would like to hold under the pulled consent agenda items. We're going to pull E3A and E6E. E6E is the auditor's financial report. And Francis, I'd like to hold that towards the end of the meeting, if that's okay. Okay, Dustin?
Judge, did you want to go ahead and approve the consent agenda with the exception of those two items?
Yes, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of the two aforementioned items?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion's made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Pass.
All right, moving down to item M1, discussion and or action on matters regarding COVID-19. I'd like to call on Elizabeth for an update.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
We're going to give a quick update on our COVID status in McLennan County. I'll start with testing. On average, we're testing about 85 people a day at our drive-through site at MCC. That site is going to be open through the rest of April all the way until June. So if anybody is needing a COVID-19 test, please feel free to go over to MCC. That site will continue to operate until June. Our vaccine clinics are still going strong. You know, we are continuing. We have a vaccine clinic scheduled for this week at the Waco Convention Center, Thursday through Saturday. And just to remind everybody, our wait list is open to those that are 18 and older. That's because we are doing Moderna first doses, and you have to be 18 or older to get the Moderna shot. So we are encouraging people to sign up for our wait list. We're moving through that very quickly. If you need to sign up, you can go to covidwaco.com or call the overflow line, which is 254-750-1890. And then for some other news, the morgue trailer has been emptied and has been demobilized out of McLennan County. So we no longer have the mortuary trailer because we no longer need to be using it.
Good.
And that is all the information I have. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Elizabeth. We'll point out that it mentioned the amount of testing is down somewhat. Of course, a lot of folks have been vaccinated, so they are no need to be tested. I would recommend that as you're gathering for certain events and you haven't been vaccinated yet, having that group test can kind of can help prevent spread. And also vaccinating early. Now the line's shorter, as mentioned. That will get you prepared for spring and summer traveling. So if you choose and make the decision to be vaccinated, I recommend you do it as quick as possible.
Do we have numbers yet on the percentage of people that have been vaccinated in the county?
Elizabeth, you have that number on the numbers of folks in the county. That number is published every day. I didn't look at it yesterday.
Yes, I know. I can give you the overall total vaccines administered is 36,475 as of April 1st, and that is strictly through the health district's numbers. And I believe in the Trib article, they said about 18% of McLennan County residents for those 18 and older are fully vaccinated.
Thank you.
And the key part of that is a lot of those vaccinations are people that have higher risk. So therefore, the hospital numbers that's why they're trending to be much lower. Yesterday, I believe they were below 4. So they're, it's really looking good. And, and as well, the number of mortalities have gone down significantly as well. Any questions for Elizabeth? Okay, is there a motion to approve her report for recording purposes?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass.
All right, under item M7 regarding the County Healthcare Provider Participation Program, Local Provider Participation Fund. Judge, we have 2 items. M7A is a public hearing to consider fiscal year 2021 provider participation in accordance with section 294.101 of the Texas Health and Safety Code. And item M7B is discussion and or action on setting the rate for the FY 2021 mandatory payments. I'd like to call on Laura McDonald from AHCV to give a brief overview to the court, and then Judge, you can open that public hearing under M7A.
Okay.
Hi, this is Laura McDonald. I think I'm going to defer to Robin Daniel, who's my supervisor, to introduce this topic to the court.
Okay, thank you.
Robin, can you speak?
Hi, everybody. Happy to jump in. Thank you, Judge and Commissioners, for having us here today. My name is Robin Daniel, and I am a representative of Adelanto Healthcare Ventures. Our firm works with hospitals, specifically Ascension, Providence, and Baylor Scott and White Hillcrest Baptist, to help them access federal dollars that reimburse their cost of treating uninsured and Medicaid patients within your community. In general, this LPPF, or Local Provider Participation Fund, provides a source for these local private hospitals to access those federal Medicaid supplemental payments. Those payments are critical to these hospitals because they help offset the cost of treating the most vulnerable in your community and really support the financial health of your local hospitals and healthcare system. This is all done without any impact to your local taxpayers. So the LPPF program authorizes the county to set a mandatory payment or collect a mandatory payment from each hospital located within the county. So this year, providers are requesting that the county consider a fiscal year 2021 mandatory payment rate of 6%. That rate is formula driven based on what we expect the hospitals in your county to need over the next year. And it's based on each hospital's net patient revenue as reported in the last American Hospital Association survey. So believe that the court should have the rate proposal, but that rate would bring in and generate about $35 million in funds from those two hospitals over the next year. And that's all for me. I'm happy to answer any questions you all may have. Thank you.
Okay, are there any questions before I open the public hearing?
What was the rate before? Was it still 6% or was it?
It was not, it had been 6% for a couple of years, but this last rate that we set for FY20 was 4.2%.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay, I would like to open the public hearing to discuss and consider and take action on the mandatory payments to be assessed on all non-public hospitals located within the county to fund the McLennan County Local Provider Participation Program, or the LPPF, during fiscal year 2021 pursuant to Section 294.101 of the Tax, Health, and Safety Code. The hearing is now open. I do not believe we had anybody register for the hearing. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. All right, not having anyone register for that hearing, the hearing is now closed.
I believe we had a few representatives from the hospitals themselves. I'm not sure if they were registered to speak, but I know that we put them on the docket to be able to. I think we have Bill Galinsky here if they would like to support the program in any way.
Okay, well, we've had the hearing, and now the commissioners will consider voting for the recommendation, but if someone would like to speak to the supporting the recommendation, can do so at this time.
Good morning, Judge. This is Bill Galinsky from Baylor Scott and White Health. And I wanted to thank you and the commissioners for taking the lead role in supporting the LPPF and supporting the efforts of the hospitals to access the Medicaid Supplemental Payment Program as we have over the last several years. Your support has been outstanding, and we couldn't do it without you, quite frankly. And so we just appreciate that. And we are definitely in support of the 6% rate. We believe that it will allow us to access all of the funds available for the time period covered.
Okay. Thank you, Bill. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Judge.
Thank you. Anyone else to speak?
This is Gina Adler. I'm with Ascension Providence here in Waco, and just want to support also and confirm what Bill is and Robin has stated, that the funds are crucial and critical to the healthcare provision of both of our organizations here in McLennan County. So appreciate the court considering the tax rate.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I just remind everybody that these funds are matched, and they come back to our hospitals with more money attached. So I think this has been a good.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question, Judge?
Yeah, please.
Just wanted to get a clarification. These are funds that, if not fully, partially, are used for uncompensated care. Am I correct in that thinking?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. It's the It's what we have done each year. We just have to decide on what percentage that we will send in for the match. And then, as Commissioner Jones said, that match is made multiple times of what we send there, and then that's redistributed to the providers here in the community.
Okay, I was thinking.
Yes. Any other questions anyone have? If not, I'd like to go to item M7B, is discussion or action on setting the rate for FY '21 for the mandatory payment. The recommendation is 6%. What's the pleasure of the court?
Judge,
I would move that we,
go ahead.
To approve setting the rate at 6.
Okay,
Second.
have a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Pass. Thank you. Thank y'all very much.
All right, under item L3, Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service, update from District Extension Administrator. I'd like to call on Donald Kelm.
Good morning, Judge. Again, I appreciate the opportunity to be here today to, one, on behalf of Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service, let you know how much we appreciate the continued support that the McLennan County Court provides the extension program in McLennan County, as well as have an opportunity to brag on my agents here in McLennan County and the work that they do serving the clientele in the county. As you know, each year I bring my newsletter. On the front of that newsletter, I highlight something that's going on across all 21 counties in District 8, which McLennan County is one of my counties. And then on the back of that newsletter, I highlight programming that's specifically being done in McLennan County by all the agents. This year, I wanted to highlight the COVID-19 efforts by Extension, which it was a good bit of effort on behalf of Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, from requests from Governor Abbott to Chancellor Sharp and Chancellor Sharp to AgriLife Extension as a result of that network of agents that we have in all 250 of 254 counties in the state. So on the front of the newsletter that Shane had sent over, on the first part, agents were trained and in return got the word out on the CARES Act information to, judges, commissioners, municipalities, school district officials. With that being said, in 2020 with the COVID-19 efforts, there were 2,970 enrollments when I got the numbers from Dr. Dozier, our emergency management, our disaster assessment and recovery director. More than 600 local jurisdictions inquired, about answers and information. Shane continues to provide that CARES Act information when it comes out to the different entities in McLennan County. As far as personal PPE equipment and delivery, we all know, you all know more so than I, but last year, around the 1st of April, AgriLife Extension has strike teams that are deployed in times of need. Shane was a member of the Ag Strike team that we went and supported Brazoria County and with animal supply points during Hurricane Harvey. Well, my strike team was deployed to the RSA, or the regional, at the Armory there in Austin, down by the airport. And we supported with the deliveries of PPEs across that regional service area, which McLennan County is part of that RAC region that served out of that Austin area. Starting last April the 1st, I can tell you, because I was part of that delivery team, we made probably every week and a half, we made deliveries of PPEs to the COG here in Waco, on the drop off in Belton at the COG, and then here in Waco and so forth. And you can see During that peak time last year, we made over 7,600 deliveries. We also, when Governor Abbott initiated the opportunity for child care providers to participate, Extension was the one that got the PPEs to McLennan County, to the Extension office, and then the staff here in McLennan County got it to the child care providers in McLennan County that chose to participate in the program. Also, when the PPEs were delivered to the polling election officials in the counties, Extension were the ones that we got it from the RSA in Austin and delivered it to the counties, to the appropriate election officials. And you can see over 8,000 polling locations supporting the 56,000 plus workers. Contact tracing, when DSHS became inundated with the contact tracing in the peak, AgriLife Extension was called upon to assist in contact tracing. You can see the number of agents that participated in the hours they put in. Colleen was part of that team that supported the contact tracing. Then you can see early on when we started the military testing teams last year, out in the rural areas, in the different counties and so forth, Extension along with the game wardens and so forth, participated in the Pony Express, getting those dirty test samples from the county sites to the different locations. And then we would get them on the DPS planes or whatever, getting them to the appropriate laboratory. Members of my District 8 strike team, we're delivering dirty samples to DSHS every morning at 6. We were getting others on the planes to UT Southwest and those labs. And then every night we'd take a portion of those samples and deliver them to the lab at Scott and White. There were many times we were going up and down I-35 with PPEs or clean test kits, getting them out to the testing teams or getting them to Baylor Scott and White at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, going up down I-35. So you can see the number of testing sites, the counties, the tests that we participated in delivery. And then from a personal note, July the 4th, you can see that one specific note on that newsletter about delivery of remdesivir. On July the 4th last year, I personally drove 800 miles delivering remdesivir to hospitals in San Marcos, Temple, Bryan College Station, and in Katy, Southwest Houston. And that one hospital that had one vial of it left, that was the one down in Houston, if I remember correctly. So you can see Extension had played a big part in there. Then when the governor talked about the child care trainings, the Texas Frontline Child Care Task Force, Extension assisted in the helping with that. So you can see Extension's efforts. Again, 3-4 weeks ago, I delivered the Binex test kits to Vanguard, as well as St. Mary's in West. I know other agents over that time when the governor initiated the testing kits for the school districts that choose to participate. There have been deliveries made to Axtell, to Mart, to different school districts in the county, and Extension got those from the RSAs to the specific school districts to get that done. So again, that's all, in support of the clientele in the specific county. So I just wanted to let you know Extension's efforts across the state and where it did assist counties in District 8. The most important part is on the back, where I can brag on the team that we have here in McLennan County. And again, just a reminder, that team would not be able to get done what they do without the support and the partnership with the McLennan County Commissioner's Court. Under Ag and Natural Resources, you can look at the snapshot of Shane and Jared's efforts there with the small grain tour, the Vines and Wines program, the Stalker Cattle program, the landscape management program that partners with Burkim, supporting school districts and golf course managers and so forth around the area. The Master Gardeners, the Lunch with the Masters, wildlife management programs, and the new and small landowner programs that Jared had. And you can see most of those were on a virtual platform as a result of COVID, but yet we still were providing education and making those contacts. Family and consumer science, the efforts of Colleen and Lindsay, our Better Living for Texans agent, you know, whether it be diabetes education, the child care conference, weight management classes. Colleen's really established a partnership with MCC and providing some education in their continuing education classes. Again, the contact tracing, food protection management. And then you can see our Better Living for Texans program that focuses on nutrition education for our SNAP recipients, the food and nutrition programs that Lindsay conducted, the gardening focus programs, the physical activity program, and then the BLT youth programs. Again, none of it would be possible if it weren't your support, with your support. Jared and Carly, along with help from the other agents in the county, the 4-H Youth Development, you can see the number of members, the number of clubs, and so forth. District 8 has a leadership council that is comprised of 10 4-Hers from across all 21 counties. McLennan County has 2 of those representatives on that District 8 council. Last year, each year in June, the Texas 4-H Foundation awards scholarships. There were 4 or 5, I'm not for sure, but 4 or 5 McLennan County 4-Hers that brought home $60,000 plus scholarships from the 4-H Foundation. So, you know, y'all know the quality of youth here in McLennan County. And then, you know, Jared and Carly, Carly manages that program. You can see curriculum enrichment, those programs that Carly has done, whether it be Hatching in the Classroom, the Learn, Grow, Eat, Go after school program, Junior Master Gardener program, the 4-H Achievement Banquet. Jared manages the Youth Livestock Program. You can see over 600 livestock projects exhibited by the 4-H members, 75 members exhibiting at major shows, the County Livestock Show. You can see at the county show the success of the 4-H members and the placings they had, and then the livestock project clinics that Jared conducted. Again, none of it would be possible if it wouldn't be for your partnership, and I thank you enough for your support of the program, your support of my District 8 Judge and Commissioners Conference, which due to COVID, we had to have it outside of Waco. But I can assure you that first Wednesday in November, we'll be back at the Education Service Center out at MCC. So again, thank y'all for your support, and don't hesitate to call me if I can answer any questions or be of any assistance.
Thank you, Dr. Kelm. And the court recognizes the value that Texas AgriLife brings into our community, and not only the traditional ways of bringing in, but also during times of such as now with the pandemic going on, the help that y'all provided us to really catch up and get ahead of this problem that we've had. We appreciate that very much. I'm also very fond, of course, of the programs you have for the youth, because those are building the future leaders of our community, and the responsibility that they learn, that they understand needs to be an important part of their character, really makes them great citizens for this community going forward. So thank y'all very much. Extend our gratitude to all the Texas AgriLife employees, especially those that are taking care of us here in McLennan County.
You bet. Again, I can't thank you enough, and it wouldn't be possible without that partnership. So I appreciate all that support to each and every one of you.
Thank you. Okay. unless there's some questions, I would entertain a motion to approve this report for recording purposes.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass. Thank you, Dr. Kim.
You bet. Thanks, Judge. See ya.
All right.
Judge, we have Janelle Foster from Langford Community Management Services on. We have a few items that she can assist with, so I'd like to go to those now. Under H11 is authorization of management administration services contract with Langford Community Management Services. Back in March, the court awarded the grant administrator for the next Texas Community Development Block Grant to Langford Community Management. This is their contract for those grant administration services. They will help the county apply for that grant. If the grant's not awarded, there's no fee. If the grant is awarded, their maximum fee would be $35,000. But that contract is in your packet, so we just need a motion to approve that contract with Langford.
Okay, any questions? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
So move.
We have a motion. Is there a second? I'll second. Any other discussion?
Second.
Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
Under item K4 regarding the Texas Community Block Grant for water and sewer improvements in the unincorporated community of Elmont, K4A is authorization of certificate of construction completion. As you can see in your packet, this work has been completed and had a final inspection at the end of February. There are some funds left over, which we'll address in a minute, but through this project, it removed 541 existing residential water meters and installed 541 new ones that had automatic meter reading hardware. And so this is just the motion to approve that certificate of construction completion.
Okay, are there any questions? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass.
K4B is authorization of request for payment, draw request number 5. This payment request number 5 totals $59,459.08, and this is for work on that same project.
Okay, any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve K4B?
So move.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
K4C is authorization of contract amendment modification request, and K4D is authorization of survey tabulation form. I'd like to call on Janelle for both of these if I see her on. Janelle, you're muted if you're trying.
There we go. I was hitting the wrong one. So we need to do a TDA amendment to their contract because Elmont has come up with water line improvement project that they can use the remaining $46,874.70 of the grant funds with. So we are looking at the Oak Forest Drive. They've got a water section in there, and in order to do the performance statement modification, we needed to prove up the beneficiaries on this to prove that they're low mod, which is where the survey tabulation comes in. We've got 55 households up there that we can serve with this new water area.
Is that, does that cover both, K4?
No, and
C
Janelle,
and D.
under D is the survey tabulation form, and that goes along just to show that area meets the income requirements. Is that correct?
Yes, that proves up the low to moderate income that is a requirement of the grant.
Okay, thank you. All right, if there's not any question, is there a motion to approve?
Judge, one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
The remaining grant funds, will that pay for all of the water line repair? Or is that just going to be a portion of the cost?
That is going to provide service or repair to, we've got 820 linear feet that is proposed. So I am not sure if they need to replace everything in that area, but we are going to use up the grant funds for as much water line as we can.
Okay. And then the funds are available for the other, anything that's not covered under this.
Yeah, the funds have already been used on the water meter portion of the project. This is the remaining amount that's left over of that grant. This is a 2019 grant.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? If not, is there a motion to approve K4C and K4D?
Motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
Under, under item O for the venue project, under item O4, discussion and or action regarding the dedication monument. And Bill Bourne from Populous is on the line and has a short presentation, and Wes Allison will also be joining for any questions.
Hey, good morning. Thanks, Dustin and Court. We also have Leo Mangamelli, our Activate graphic designer as well, who's been working on the monument project. And then, do you have the presentation, or do you want us to share that here?
Bill, if you want to screen share it, that'd be great.
Okay, cool. Let me pull that up here. So yeah, this is going to be an overview of the progress. We've got more detailed design, and as well as responding to some of the questions and comments that came through Court in the last presentation. And then I'll turn it over to Leo. We'll have some options to review as well, and then hopefully get a decision on the Court on the path forward for the dedication plaques. So we have part of the process that we've updated we've coordinated with Extraco Event Center and Heart of Texas on the branding and theming of the Expo Center, which will be the base. And so we've coordinated with their color themes in terms of incorporating something that's more thematic, and will also look like it will be more of a polished and a unique element that both relates to the uniqueness of the Expo Center site as well as the branding. And we've built flexibility in to the design, both of the dedication plaques, which we've reduced the number to 6 total. The sizes of them got a little bit larger, but to coordinate with the sizes of the stones that were available on site were a little bit different than our initial concept, but trying to use existing materials or some of the extra materials there to reduce cost to the Court. And then also the incorporation of the exterior grade acrylic components that will enhance the mock-up of the structural component there. And so I'll turn it over to Leo to walk through some of the options and some of the details that we've responded to on the Court's questions.
Yeah, so we've got the monument here that we've added the acrylic inlays to it. It's a kind of a sandblasted finish to the face of the acrylics to give them a nice appearance. It is a 5-year rated, exterior rated acrylic, and it's purchased in a sheet form. And in this case, each piece can be cut twice out of one sheet. So we'll have additional attic stock for any damage or faded pieces that need to be replaced after a few years. They are mechanically attached with a retainer, so it makes it pretty easy for somebody with either a sign contractor or a facilities person could replace these. You can flip to the next page. And then the 6 different interpretive plaques will actually be attached to this bent metal riser. It's secured with studs into the block's top surface, and it kind of acts as a way to hide the upwashing of the lighting fixture that upwashes the acrylic. So the plaques themselves are a 5/16 inch machined aluminum. All the graphic elements you see here would be raised and have a horizontally brushed finish. The background would have a black satin finish with a leatherette texture. And in some cases, we've added photos. Photos do add a little bit extra cost, but I think we've got it in the budget. They're blind stud mounted to the bent metal risers, and that kind of makes them easily changeable so that you can remove them if there's any damage or if there's any future updates. So on this option 1, we've developed 2 different options for the layouts. This option 1, what we've shown with a small group, is the preferred method option for now. But the top row of you see here is what faces the parking lot. So it's the 3 that you would see when you approach. The center panel is solely used to reinforce the base branding. And the left flanking panel here is used to show the Heart of Texas nonprofit organization current and notable members. And the right flanking panel would be the venues or the history of the actual site, the Ridgefield Air Base. And it would include a short description of the history and some historic photos.
Yeah. Right now, especially on the Ridgefield Air Base, as well as the plaque that gives honor to the venue plan of all the stakeholders coming together. Those are currently placeholders that we're working with the county to develop the proper content and get the proper imagery to share on those as well. So just wanted to look at the basic, the 2 options of how these are, how all the information and dedication is conveyed, and then there'll still be time for refinement on the plaques and the information themselves.
Yeah. So the bottom row here faces the building itself. The center panel is the project dedication. Includes the base branding and the project completion date, and it highlights the members that work directly on the project. The left plaque there, like Bill said, it has the additional stakeholders here, the city of Waco, McLennan County, and the Waco Independent School District. And then the right panel here would have the venue's history and plan, a brief, we put a couple paragraphs in there in the history and in the plan, and then include any historic photos you wanted to include. Okay, so that's option 1. And then option 2, are we there? Okay, so option 2, we kind of remove the base branded logo with the color, and we remove the venue history and plan, and we give the McLennan County and Waco Independent School District and the city of Waco their own plaques. So we're just showing it with their logo there in the center, but we can easily just move it and then kind of left align and add a couple paragraphs for whatever we want to describe about these stakeholders.
Cool. Thank you, Leo. Wes,
Sure.
Do you have anything that you'd like to add? Nope. Okay. So now we'll turn it over to the court. Really, if you have any other questions about the details or the functionality, but also for discussion on, making a decision on option 1 or option 2. As mentioned, we the design team and most of the folks involved prefer option 1 in previous discussions.
Okay, are there any questions anyone have? So Wes, I guess you and some of your staff have reviewed these as well.
Yes, Judge. In fact, I've reviewed them and our staff's reviewed them, but also Executive Committee has
Okay.
reviewed at least what we believe is our portion, which is just the folks on our side of the plaque that were involved. And actually, you know that our membership on our board of directors is only 36, but we did include, we tried to go back and pick up those that started in 27, that were on the 2017,
Yeah.
which added a few lines, because really the project as a whole, it's not just been the current board of directors. It's been, all the way back to
Right.
17 was the number we fell to. Probably it goes back a little farther than that, but we tried to make sure we included those that were a part of it.
Right. And that's good, because they, some of them provided very good discussions for us to even consider this project and how we were going to do it. So I think some recognition ought to be given to those as well.
Yes, sir.
Do the commissioners, do y'all have any questions? The recommendation is option 1, but it's for our consideration.
Personally, I like option 1. I like the Richfield Air Base portion of it. I think a lot of people don't realize the history of that particular piece of property. Those of us who attended Richfield High School do. It was indoctrinated into us.
Right.
But I think it's important to highlight that.
Well, and it ties in to the name. The name's an acronym for other things, but it's also an indication of where that property has been in its place in history. Yeah. And so now there's a new place for this property, new project for this property in history as well. So, any other thoughts or comments from the commissioners? Okay. If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
I would move that we would adopt option 1, if that's what you're asking.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's what I'm asking.
That would be my motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion second. Is there other discussion? If there's no other discussion, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? No opposition, so pass. Thank y'all very much.
I'd like to go to item H12, authorization of memorandum of understanding with Baylor University and related funding matters. I'd like to call on Anna and Patty Houston from Baylor.
Good morning, the court members. Thank you, Justin. So we're presenting this morning a request to establish a partnership and program for internships with Baylor. Specifically, we're requesting funding in the amount of $15,000. This would allow us to offer 3 internship slots for this summer for a duration of 12 weeks. These would be temporary, seasonal type positions, which we already have a policy in place for. And with the help of Patty, I've been working with her closely. She has offered details of similar programs that she's been able to assist other organizations locally with. And so we kind of want to mirror those programs, and we think it's a great opportunity to have McLennan County involved with Baylor in that way. We have 3 offices, mine included, the HR office included, who have shown an interest and willingness to take on these interns for the summer. It's HR, health services, and the auditor's office. And in my memo there, you can see corresponding areas of study for each of those offices. Our hope is, for now, this partnership was with Baylor. I know the sheriff's office also established something similar with Conley, and it is our offices hope to be able to, once this program is established, be able to add on to it and involve other educational institutions from the area to add to the diversity of industry internships that we can offer. So that would also include TSDC, MCC, but right now, the partnership we're trying to establish is with Baylor. 3 internship slots of this summer, and we're requesting the funding in the amount of $15,000 into the HR line item. We do have a temporary pay line item that would work well for an internship program. And ultimately the goal here, I think for the county anyway, is not just to offer these opportunities to the students, but introduce students to the county workforce and maybe plant a seed of long-term residence here in McLennan County, not just for the summer. And I'm sure Patty can elaborate as well or take questions from the court if they have them.
Any questions for Anna?
I have one, not necessarily a question, perhaps just a clarification. I remember when Commissioner Gibson was here, each summer we would have a college student to come in to the office and intern. It was a paid position. Also, during the regular school term, through Dr. Myers, at that time he was a professor of political science at Baylor University. We received a student for the fall term and for the spring term that interned, and I think in relations for a grade, doing something like, how does the program that you're proposing on today's agenda, how would that align with an initiative like that? It wouldn't preclude it from happening or anything like that, would it? And then would Dr. Myers have to go through this initiative if he wanted to place his students again in our office?
So
Would you like me to address that, Anna?
Yes, if you can, please, Patty.
Okay, so the court may have to address the issue of where the funding was for that program, but these can continue alongside each other. This is what you described, what Dr. Myers does, and your relationship with any faculty members to be able to obtain students. Those can continue on. What the program that Anna is describing now is operated through the Career Center here at Baylor. I will also clarify too, I know Anna and I haven't had a lot of chance to get to know each other since she just came on, but Judge, you might remember that when we first started talking about this position, that I actually work with students from TSTC, MCC, Tarleton, and Texas Tech, as well as Baylor, although I'm here primarily in the office at Baylor. And the document is specific to Baylor because that's what they legally require. But there's not a reason, as far as I'm concerned, why we can't pull those other schools in to the process unless that's something that the court needs to approve. But back to Commissioner Miller's question, the paid position is really more like a part-time job. When it comes to Dr. Myers and class credit, then there has been a need to tighten up that process, and there would just be some documentation so that you would know what the objectives are if that hasn't been given to you in the past. And we would need a memo of understanding executed so that we're sure that that student is getting those objectives met. And then there would be an end of the semester evaluation. So I can work with you on all those details. We're just trying to bring this all together under one umbrella, but it doesn't preclude what you have been happening from continuing as far as we're concerned.
Okay, I think that's a good idea to put it under one umbrella. And as I think Dr. Joseph Brown also participated. So I just look forward to reaching out to you.
Yes, great. And I missed Dr. Brown in his retirement. So I enjoyed working with him. but it would not be one of the three that we're talking about here, unless the court needed it to be that way for the payment. I don't know where the payment was originating from for those students. That was the paid position.
Okay, the paid position came directly from our budget. And that's not something that I'd be opposed to doing as we move forward, but I will let us get back to the agenda item and I'll reach out to you later at a later date so we can finalize some details.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, are there other questions?
I had a question for Anna or Dustin. Are these, so if these are paid, then we're gonna be paying benefits for them, correct?
That's a good question. Commissioner, no, we would not. That's one of the conditions that we have attached to the MOU, the memorandum, is that the internship duration won't exceed 6 months. And the reason for that specific duration is because after 6 months, TCDRS retirement would need to apply, which we would not want it to. And then also temporary seasonal falls under, that's the same category our election workers fall under, who are not entitled to benefits. So we accounted for that to avoid that additional cost.
And then, are they covered under our liability insurance?
Commissioner,
yes.
yes. We'll just need to make sure that we report this on to TAG, but there are those specific questions on our renewal.
Okay. Thanks.
How is this funded?
So that's a part of the request. We're requesting funds from contingency to be able to fund the $15,000 for these summer internships for the current fiscal year.
Contingency. Okay.
I just, the only comment I have is, the original purpose for this is to try to, first of all, give opportunity for young people in our community that's getting education here locally to have an opportunity to look at what we do and possibly consider applying for a full-time position later on. From a community standpoint, we envision the community embracing this program to be able to keep more graduates in Waco and not have them leave out of the community. We have a large talent loss, and this would help curb that to some extent. So we think, we're just dipping our toe in the water with it, so we don't have a whole lot of risk with this. With the 15,000, we should get value out of that as well. So, really, if managed properly, and I expect these departments that have asked for these interns will, and I know they will manage these positions well, then we'll get full value back. So, any other questions or comments?
I had another comment. I know when we utilized our budget for a paid internship position, it was just funded through our part-time. And because of class studies, individuals weren't able to even work a total of 30 to 40 hours. Most of them worked 20 to 25. What I found them to be is an extremely valuable work asset. The students are very conscious, they're very focused. They come in with a skill level that is complementary to the administrative environment. I think we do give them the perspective of what is county government. A lot of them did not, weren't familiar with county government, the level of government at the county level. And they found it to be a really rewarding experience. There are some projects that we still have on file that were done through the students that we utilized through our internship program. I see it as very valuable. Perhaps we would put that funding allocated out to the department. I don't know if we're thinking logistically, how do we manage where we put the funds? But I'm in full support of funding the program, and maybe we can work out logistically where we place them, the funds, I mean.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? If not, ask the court to consider H12, authorization of memorandum of understanding with Baylor University and related funding matters for the collaboration internship program. What's the pleasure of the court? I'll make a motion, we approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where did you say the funds were going to be placed? Are they going to be placed in HR? That was the hesitancy on me on that motion. I didn't know where the funds were going to be housed for this program.
Yes, ma'am, the request was for HR. Oh, go ahead, Francis.
Oh, I was gonna say, we have a line item that specifically says temporary staffing in HR. So right now that's where it'll be. I mean, it's in general fund. So, you know, you can move between departments, but in the end, we're just gonna house it there. In other years, we can add that temporary intern line into other departments, but you know, it would still come from the same place, just different departments. So
How do we track which departments are using these interns are going to be placed? How do we track where they're placing these individuals?
So that'll be coordinated through HR, and I actually discussed this with Haley about how their time is reported, and I think each department head that or official that gets assigned an intern will be responsible for reporting their time on a timesheet, and they would have the say of what that intern will be doing under their own office.
Right now, there's 3 requests, and they'd have to request it to come to court to approve it, and the requests right now are from HR, from auditor's office, as well as Indigent Health. So those are the 3 that we're approving at this time.
Okay, so Francis.
yeah, so time sheets come in from departments, and you know that supervisor's approving them, but you know, the cost of those can show up many different places, you know, grant funding in a department, in a special revenue fund. So, you know, we just timesheets come in, that department is approving it, but the spread of the expense is, you know, just based on where that is budgeted. So this is something where, you know, if we had an intern in our office, I would be approving the timesheet. And Anna, tell me if there's something different that, you know, that will happen, but I would be approving that timesheet just like I do for any other person in my office, and then it's the actual cost is just coded to the HR temporary intern line item.
So in the HR budget, we would see like temporary intern, auditor's office, temporary position, health services. It would be designated out and identified in the budget that way. I guess I'm trying to see if I wanted to go to a sheet of paper and see exactly where this position was, it would let me know.
So I mean, we can print the detail of an account, yes, and you can see, you know, exactly what was charged there, and you know what made up that cost. And you know, we can always pull that information for you at any time if needed.
Any other questions? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Call for a vote.
Commissioners, oh, you already called for vote, Judge.
Oh, okay, so it's passed. All right, thank you, sorry. All right, Dustin.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
All right, thank y'all. Under item K5, regarding the Bureau of Justice Assistance Adult Drug Court and Veterans Treatment Court Discretionary Grant Program, authorization of subrecipient monitoring policy. I'd like to call on Amy Lowry.
Can you hear me?
Yes, good morning, Amy.
Good morning. I was really interested in the interns.
Okay,
I like that conversation. If y'all have any extra interns, throw them my way. Mine are graduating.
all right.
All right. So this is about the Adult Drug Court Award that we have from the Bureau of Justice, award number 2020 DC BX 0107. The Office of the Comptroller conducted a preliminary financial review of our application, and the federal portion of the total budget request was $295,518. And that was not the federal award amount, which was $270,264. So the auditor's office prepared a revised budget so that the federal portion matched that. And so we have a 25% match of at least $90,088 with a total budget of $360,352. So it matches what they awarded us basically. So we have completed that. We just needed approval for that. And they also advised us that if you remember back in January, Dr. Sarah Dolan from Baylor is our independent evaluator for the grant. And we have a contract with her, but they said we also have to have a policy for the county, which is called a subrecipient monitoring policy. And so they sent us a draft from Douglas County for us to use as a sample. So Mike Dixon and Dustin reviewed that, said that that would work. And so I have submitted that to the court for review and our guidance just to use for the grant because it's basically for Dr. Dolan's use to accompany the contract. And so today we're just requesting approval from the court to approve the amended budget and the subrecipient monitoring policy and procedures policy.
Okay, Dustin, you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, Judge, I don't know if the budget part is on the agenda. I know specifically I'm looking for it right now. But I know the subrecipient monitoring policy it is that item K5.
Right.
I'm not sure. I know that Katie had sent it in. It might have just not got that on there. I'm sorry.
Judge, if Reagan would know
Okay.
for sure, but I'm not seeing it.
Okay, Reagan says the budget piece is not on there, so we can approve this if the court agrees, and then we can handle the budget out at the next meeting. Is that appropriate, Dustin?
Yes, sir. We just need we can just address the subrecipient policy, then we'll have the budget on next court session.
Okay. Any questions or comments anyone would have? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the subrecipients monitoring policy.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass.
Okay, we have two items from John Gimble. I'd like to go to item G5, authorization of collection application proposal and related statement of work from EDOC Technologies. John?
Good morning.
Morning.
All right, y'all can hear me. So right now, we don't have any type of meaningful software for our collections agents. We have two positions in our office to collect the outstanding court costs, primarily focused on criminal court costs. And this would allow them to have both a method of mailing people that owe us money and tracking electronically, having an email option, some other more advanced technologies that we just don't have anything like that on the table.
Any questions for John? So how did we do this in the past?
Just manually doing it and trying to run reports out of our systems. So this would actually give us a meaningful way to track it and let us improve the collections process through tracking mechanisms and that kind of automation.
Okay, how many dollars are we talking about in regards to what we, in our collection side? We have an idea on that.
We have several $1 million in outstanding criminal court costs and a few $1 million of outstanding civil court costs as well.
Okay, and so the 10,000 would be to create the software interface. And then, is there any maintenance to that going forward?
I believe there is maintenance, and we're covering that out of the special revenue funds, so this won't have any draw on tax dollars. It's coming out of fees that we collect
Okay.
from court users.
And the 10,000 couldn't come out of that?
Yes, sir. That's right. Both the upfront and ongoing costs. So it's kind of a system that'll more than pay for itself in that it's coming directly out of the fees that these people are collecting for us.
Okay, I got you now. All right, are there any questions anyone have?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass. Thank you, sir.
Under Judge, one more for John, under item H10, authorization of text pool investment pools participation agreement and related resolution, authorizing participation in the text pool investment pools and designating authorized representatives. John?
So on behalf of the court system, I manage the trusts that are created from court awards where the district clerk is charged with investing. Normally, we've gone to local banks and gotten CDs. From what I'm hearing from our local bankers, they are flush with cash because of all of the wonderful printing going on at the federal level and the stimulus money that comes into those banks. So we're having a hard time. We've got a couple of larger judgments coming, and one of them in particular is a 7-figure judgment, and the banks don't want to give us a CD for that. And so to have a tool, I'm court ordered to invest this. Bill Helton does this on behalf of the county. This would be, instead of the county making the money, it would be invested on behalf of the minor children usually or court awardee, and let them have access to that same technology.
So there's no limitations on drawing interest, is what you're saying?
So the interest earned on this would stay within that count. The county gets a small fee for managing it. Our office collects that and turns that back over to the treasurer.
Okay. All right. Any questions anyone have? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
So moved.
Motion to approve.
Yeah, second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Have a good morning.
You do.
Thank you.
Thank you all for letting us skip around and accommodate those presenters, so we can move back to the top of the agenda, Judge, if you're ready.
Yes.
Going back to E3, Human Resources, E3A, County Sheriff, discussion and/or action regarding updated approvals to the use of overtime fund for offsite screening of jury panel and jury trials due to COVID-19 and related matters. I'd like to call on David Ives for this item.
Thank you, Dustin. So we had turned in a request to Commissioners Court that was approved back in October for the offsite usage of overtime within the Sheriff's Office for offsite court proceedings. Those plans have changed, and we have submitted this new letter that you'll see in your packet here. And the amount of time has gone up that we'll need to utilize for the security of this offsite court location. The plan currently is for the first few months, May and June, will only be on Mondays. That will just be for jury selection board hour. And then starting in July, we will have full 5-day-a-week court, 10 hours a day. So this request is asking for an appropriate amount of overtime from the Sheriff's Office to facilitate the security of that off-site location.
Okay, Dustin, you've been involved in discussions along with myself. Any comments?
No, sir. As David said, things have changed, and I expect this could be very fluid as we move on through and as things hopefully continue to improve with COVID. And if John's still on the line, he might be able to chime in a little because I know he's in contact with the judges.
Did y'all need something from me?
We were just talking about, the sheriff's department's asking for additional, funding for overtime, to handle, voir dire, as well as the possibility of using the base, for trials, later on. And so there's a significant amount of money, needed for this. And just, I know, you've been involved with the judges. Any other comments on this, or?
I'm actually over here right now. We just got finished setting up the audio-visual system and gonna have the Judge Thomas and Kelly come over this afternoon and test it out, make sure we're ready to go. For May and June, we're gonna have one criminal trial voir dire over here is our current plan, and potentially a misdemeanor backed up with that. I know that our local security office at the courthouse had said that was kind of the constraints they could do with the courthouse security staff to maintain two places at once. And the ask that we'd had on the system was to be able to stand up to having two felony trials eventually. And so I think the ask that David Ives has just brought forward is to cover that second felony trial happening over here at the base. The rental that we're going to be using for May and June is just 1 day of usage each week for that voir dire process. And then the trials will shift back over to the courthouse, but that only allows half of our criminal courts to stand up per week.
Okay. And of course, David, you and I talked a little bit. The approval of this would allow the use of these funds specifically for that purpose. So if they weren't needed, the money would still be left in the budget.
Correct, Judge, and we'll manage it much like we've managed other overtime funds in other departments. The individuals that are there on overtime, the minute that if court ends early or the circumstances don't necessarily call for that personnel, those overtime personnel are going to be the first people that we cut loose for the day so that we can absolutely minimize that cost to the county.
Okay, yeah, understand. Any questions anyone would have?
Yeah, explain again why we're holding court. I mean, I understand jury selection over at the base, but we can't accommodate, or if we're open fully back up, we can't accommodate these trials at the courthouse?
We could if we're fully back up, but we're not allowed. Right now, the Office of Court Administration in Texas Supreme Court has said that we still have to go by the protocols that were established. It means that, you know, the big problem is the spacing, the 6 foot or further, and we can't accommodate that in trials over here. We can in the visiting courtroom, but that's just one courtroom. And so if we're in trying to catch up, we need to have, look at other options until that rule changes, you know. But right now, we're pretty sure it's going to stay in place at least into May, if not longer.
But once the rule changes and they,
yeah, it could
theoretically move back to
go back to the way we've always done it.
And if that happens, Commissioner, as well, we will absolutely come back before the court with an updated request like we're doing with this one. This was an update to the original.
Right. Any other questions? All right. Is there a motion to approve E3A?
So moved. Second.
Motion been made and second. Any discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass, thank you.
Judge, did you still want to hold E6E, the county auditor report, until later in the meeting?
If I could, yeah.
It'll just take me probably a couple minutes if you want to get it done. It's up to y'all.
Okay, well, if you're prepared, go ahead then.
Okay.
Of course,
I don't have a, I'm sorry.
I know you're prepared, so I'm sorry.
Well, I don't have a formal presentation, but you do have the monthly report ending January 31st. And it is just a snapshot of financials as of that date. So there's really no concerns, nothing too big that we want to point out at this point in time. Just to give you an idea of what we look like as of that date. If you look at general fund operating expenditures, which are your reoccurring expenditures, your personnel, your supplies, your other services and charges, we had expended 30% of the budget. And then of course, at the end of January, we had completed 33% of the year, excuse me. So right where we need to be as far as budget goes. Some other areas of interest, indigent defense, we're in budget. We're more under budget than we usually are. Of course, last year and a half, our indigent defense expenditures have dropped some, but no concern in that department. Also, if you look at our 2 correctional facilities, those being Jack Harwell and then what we call Highway 6, if you look at the budget for those together, we are falling a little, if you compare that to the amount of year that's passed, we're falling a little bit below that point as well. So of course, we will have some increased expenditures in those departments related to, increased staffing at Jack Harwell, for increased federal inmates and things like that. And we'll continue to keep tabs on those, of course. But right now, everything seems to be going as planned. And then our contingencies line item, which we move from frequently, we've discussed that several times today. We are sitting at over half of our contingencies line item. We budgeted about right under 1.4 million. And so we've spent a little less than half, or moved as far as budget amendments goes, about half of that out to other line items. So if there's any other questions, it's just kind of short and sweet. But if there's any other questions, let me know.
Okay, any questions anyone have? If not, is there a motion to approve the auditor's report for recording purposes?
Motion to approve.
Is there a
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
All right, and we can move on to item F, budget, F1 regarding the FY21 budget. Francis?
Thank you. So then move into budget amendments, starting with F1A. This is in the general fund. This is a request from the 54th District Court, Judge Kelly. The request is to purchase an item of capital outlay, which is a video and audio upgrade for that courtroom. That totals $34,440. There's attached quotes to that budget amendment. I know IT could answer any technical questions about those items. There's also a request to add some additional funding to their furniture and equipment line so that they can purchase a laptop. They are able to move within their department from court reporter related line items. And that's unused budget that's not going to be needed this year. F1B, this is general fund for countywide. And there's just a small amount, $400 additional needed for membership dues due to an increase in one of our annual dues, the County Judges and Commissioners Association. And we're requesting to move that from contingencies. F1C is in the general fund. This is in the pretrial services department. They are requesting to increase their furniture and equipment line item from contingencies. And this is related to some damage that was done during the inclement weather week in February. F1D, this is general fund for Road and Bridge Precinct 3. And the request is to move from their contingency line item in their department into capital outlay to fund the purchase of a truck. And F1E, this is in general fund for our Heart of Texas Fairgrounds repair and maintenance line item. This budget amendment is coming from contingencies and covers the invoices that you approved on the last agenda for repair and maintenance expenditures also related to the inclement weather in February. And that concludes the budget amendments.
Okay. I've got one question on F1A. Is IT involved in setting up that audio, video and audio upgrades?
Yes, sir. As far as I know, yes.
Thank you.
Pardon me, this is Lisa. I was wondering, did Tim chime in as well there, Judge Felton?
Yes, he did, and said that y'all were involved in it.
Yes, he was involved in bringing the vendors out to look at what their needs were. I wasn't sure if I was understanding your question about installing it. So much of it, I mean, this would be outsourced to the vendor, much of the work, I believe.
Right.
So,
Right.
okay, just making sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if there's no other questions, is there a motion to approve F1A through F1E?
So move.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
Right under F1F, County Sheriff, F1F1, authorization of request to exceed vehicle expenditure limit. David?
So F1F is in regards to a vehicle accident that we had. This was a total loss on the vehicle. And on the F1F1, there's some quotes included in there. We've had some wrecks this year, and we desperately need the funds from the insurance so that we can replace some of these vehicles so that our fleet doesn't get terribly depleted. And then you'd see those requests in the budget. So we're trying to keep that from happening.
So you're not adding numbers to the fleet, you're replacing those that are out?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay.
And so Judge, F1, F2 is authorization regarding the transfer of funds to capital outlay that David had mentioned from that proceeds from the totaled fleet vehicle from TAC. And then F1, F1 is the authorization of request to exceed the vehicle expenditure limit on one of those vehicles.
Okay. All right, any questions? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
F1G is authorization of Texas Association of Counties claim deductible invoice. This is for the claim associated with Erica Bledsoe. It totals $52.50.
Okay, I think we can afford that. I'd make a motion, we approve F1G. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion made and second. Any discussion? No other discussion. Call for all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass. All right.
F1H, authorization of updated county legal services budget regarding the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services Title 4E grant. Francis?
Yes, this is just an updated, like you said, Title IV legal budget for the current fiscal year.
Any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve F1H?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
Under item G, bids and RFPs, G1, authorization of recommendation for RFQ 21-009, engineering for Texas Community Block Grant Project. Ken?
Yeah, under this RFQ, we received 5 responses. One was Duff Consulting Engineers. We received one from MRB Group, Mundo and Associates, Burks and Walker, and TRC Companies. We had a team of 4 evaluate each one of these responses. Again, this being the RFQ. I took those scoring that I got from each of the individuals and averaged that scoring. And the entity that scored out the best was the MRB Group. And so it's our recommendation to grant the award for the Engineering for Texas Community Block Grant Project to the MRB Group. And I supported that. I sent documentations of the recording of the evaluation sheets. And then we have a Form P508 for engineering that we have to sign off on and submit to Janelle Foster.
Okay. All right, any questions? Is there a motion to approve G1, the recommendation from Purchasing Director Ken Bass?
So move.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Pass. Thank you.
G2 is authorization of renewal for RFP 19-019, license to place vending machines on McLennan County property with automatic chef canteen. Ken?
Yes, sir. We contacted Automatic Chef and they would like to continue our agreement with them. Right now, the commission paid to the county by Automatic Chef is a 23% net with a minimum of $1,400 monthly. And again, if the court approves, the contract would be enforced from June 1, 2021 through May 31, 2022.
Okay, as far as you know, we're satisfied with the service.
Yeah, I have not received any complaints. As a matter of fact, we have actually added a couple of machines in some areas. So.
Okay. All right. What's the pleasure of the court on G2?
Motion to approve the renewal.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
Under G3 regarding bid 18-023, transportation of deceased for chemical analysis, authorization of bid, contract continuation with Empath Way, formerly Waco Mortuary. Ken?
Yes, we were informed by some of the JPs that Waco Mortuary was changing hands. We reached out to the new company and we just wanted to verify that they were willing to continue the service that had been provided by Waco Mortuary. And they said that they were willing to honor the contract with McLennan County. And the current contract is good through 9/30/21. And again, I believe everyone is good with this recommendation.
Are there any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve G3.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
G4, authorization of recommendation for bid 21-003, McLennan County ADA renovations to MHMR Crisis Center. Ken?
Yes, sir. Under this bid, we received responses from CWA Construction, Flores General Contracting, HCS Inc. We received a response from Honey Roofing for roofing only. And then we received a bid from Mitchell Construction Company. We recommend that the county grant the award for McLennan County ADA renovations to MHMR Crisis Center to HCS Inc. for an amount of $624,700. That includes the base bid, add alternate 1, which was patching ceilings and repaint as needed. The add alternate 2, replace standard shower head with a quick disconnect wand, and plumbing for men and women respite shower enclosures, and then add anti-ligature hardware, and then alternate number 3 is roof replacement. The reason why HCS submitted the low bid for the total base items and all the added alternates.
Okay, any questions? All right, is there a motion to approve G4? with Ken Bass's recommendation.
Motion to approve.
Is there?
Second.
All right, have a motion and second. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
Under item H, contracts interlocal agreements, H1 is authorization of master maintenance agreement with OPEX Corporation regarding the tax office remittance processing machine. This is just a renewal of that agreement with OPEX totaling $10,205. This is an increase of $200 over last year, and as stated, this is for the remittance processing machine located in the tax office.
All right. Any questions? Is there a motion to approve H1?
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
H2 is reauthorization of private switch agreement with McLennan County 911 Emergency Assistance District. This is our annual reauthorization of an agreement we originally entered into in 2018. This states that IT will maintain the phone location records, and this helps to ensure the location of emergency calls will be properly identified for county departments.
Okay, any questions? Is there a motion to approve H2?
So move.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any
Second.
other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
H3 is reauthorization of current memorandum of understanding with Hillcrest Baptist Medical Center, doing business as Baylor Scott and White Hillcrest Medical Center, location for the McLennan County Indigent Healthcare Program. And Heather, you can speak to this, but basically what it does, it just identifies Hillcrest as a healthcare provider in the capacity of hospital. It's a reauthorization of our existing MOU.
That's it. And I checked with Sherry Moore, our claims specialist, to see if she had any questions about it. And she says, no, everything's fine. It's fine to renew.
Okay, are there any questions? Is there a motion to approve H3?
So move.
To approve.
I have a motion second. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Pass.
H4 is authorization of agency partnership agreement with Heart of Texas Homeless Management Information System. Heather?
Yes, Judge, Commissioners. I'd mentioned this when we had talked about the Homeless Coalition Partnership originally, doing the memorial with them. And then the other piece of it was joining in a partnership where we could utilize this homeless management information system. And so it's a local information technology system used to collect client level data and data on the provision of housing and service utilization by homeless individuals, families, and persons of risk of homelessness. And you have the proposal in front of you and how we would utilize the program. We kind of went back and forth with them about how we would utilize it. And pretty much we would just use it for our pauper cremation referrals to see what information was in the system about a homeless decedent that we'd receive a referral on. We would also utilize it with our indigent healthcare population to see what other resources they're utilizing in the community. We would update, our contribution would be that we would update the demographic information for clients that we had interface with, which would just help with the research piece of the data collection that they're doing for the county, which then is used to apply for grants and additional funding. But it just helps them to get a good, clear picture of the utilization by this population in our county. And so as far as the budget goes, the cost, we just would add 2 department users, and the cost initially upfront would be $835. Then we would just have an annual renewal of $375. And so I reached out to Haley to see how we could kind of tweak that. And we would have to do a budget amendment to cover the additional $375 for this initial year. But then after that, we have money in our budget line item to pay for the renewal each year.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Heather? All right, what's the pleasure of the court on H4?
Move to approve.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
H5 is reauthorization of current memorandum of understanding with Diagnostic Health Centers of Texas doing business as Diagnostic Health Waco for the McLennan County Indigent Healthcare Program. This is similar to what we just approved with Hillcrest. This identifies Diagnostic Health Waco as a healthcare provider in the capacity of lab X-ray and radiology imaging center, and it extends that MOU for 2 years.
And
Okay,
again,
Yeah.
everything's fine on our end, so we have no questions or anything extra to add.
okay. All right, under H5, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote, all in favor say aye.
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 Oppose?
Aye.
Pass, thank you.
H6, authorization of interlocal cooperative agreement with the city of Moody for road work. Commissioner Smith?
Yes, sir, thank you. This is simply asking for the approval of the interlocal agreement that we have with the city of Moody to supply the labor and equipment for the reconstruction or construction or resealing of some streets within that city. And they're listed for you.
Okay. All right, and city agrees to pay the county a total sum of $69,850
Yes, sir.
for labor and equipment.
Yes, sir.
All right, any questions anyone have? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
Under H7, regarding the United States Marshal Services Intergovernmental Agreement number 80-100033, authorization of modification of contract. This is a modification to the contract. It corrects the bed day rate listed in the item description to $84.12, and it's for the Jack Harwell Detention Center.
Okay, any questions?
What was it before?
What was the bed day rate?
I need to see if I can find it real quick, unless David or somebody from the SO knows.
So this is, if you look at this contract, this is actually for ICE. ICE piggybacks off the Marshals contract, and this is just the way that you see these run through court for ICE very frequently, how they allocate the bed days. The U.S. Marshal Service doesn't do it like this, but ICE does do it like this. So you'll see a quantity on there, and what they're basically doing is amending that for the total cost for a period of time for the number of bed days that they've utilized.
I think the question was, what was it prior to this?
So that the ICE has been paying that rate ever since that was originally.
So it's the same.
It's 75. Yes, it's the same. It was $75 prior to this, but that was back in, I think, 2017.
Okay. All right, and then the contract, the order number and all would detail that it identify that it is ICE. For ICE.
Correct.
inmates. Yeah, okay.
Correct. If you look on there, it'll say that under the department, but the agreement number itself is actually the same agreement number that the marshals use. All the federal agencies piggyback off that marshals contract.
Got you. Okay. All right, thank you. Any other questions? All right, what's the pleasure of the court on H7?
Move to approve H7.
Second.
Motion been made.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass.
H8 is authorization of interlocal cooperation agreement with City of Golson for road work. Commissioner Jones?
This is an interlocal agreement with the city of Golson for the chip sealing of River Road and Silver Road in the amount of $75,000.
Okay, if there's no questions, or motion to approve H8.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
H9 is authorization of temporary service agreement with Waste Connections Lone Star regarding waste containers for Road and Bridge Precinct 2. Commissioner Miller? or Ken?
Yes, I thought I'd speak to this. The commissioners needing containers for a cleanup day, and so we contacted Waste Connection Lone Star, and for each 40-yard container, it's to haul is $362.70. The delivery fee is $228.80, and then a disposable fee of $35. And then they have the dry run additional $228.80 if we need it. So, but again, this is for cleanup days.
Okay, any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
All right, moving on to item I, capital improvement, repair and maintenance projects. I-1s regarding ADA renovations at Exco Event Center, agreement with John W. Irwin Construction. I-1A is authorization of application for payment number 10. Ken?
Yes, sir. This pay application is in the amount of $18,625. Dustin and I both have reviewed this, and it's been signed off by CPNY, so this should be good to go.
Okay, is there a motion to approve I-1A?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under I-1B, ratification of field order number 5. Dustin, Ken?
And Judge, what this is, it's actually field orders number 1 through 5. We started with the $70,000 amount in contingency. And as work was going on and things were uncovered, there were some items that needed to be addressed or that were maybe missed that were not ADA compliant and that had to be fixed. And so we just want to bring all these field orders to you when they were sent out. Ken, myself, and TJ reviewed them and did not slow work up. And since the contingency funds were available, they were authorized to proceed with the work. But we wanted to bring these to y'all at one time to ratify, and we will keep doing so if any other field orders happen. There's still $22,000 remaining in that contingency on this project.
Okay. Any questions about that? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
I'll second.
Second.
Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass. Okay, we're right here at J. That's it's 10:53 right now. Let's take a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and finish the agenda. Thank you.
The recording has
Okay.
All right. Under item J, real estate right of way and easements. Under J1, approval of authority to present written offer to landowners, sign the contract of sale, and obtain a title commitment, policy, and warranty deed for right of way parcel needed for drainage improvement project on Panther Branch Road, Precinct 4. Zane?
Good morning, everyone. On Panther Branch Road, as you know, we're wanting to replace a culvert, and we need some additional right of way to do so, as well as a permanent construction easement. And one of the landowners has agreed to donate a small portion of land to the county, as well as provide their permanent construction easement. And so we're asking for the authority for the county judge to sign the contract of sale and authorize the county engineer to obtain a title commitment, policy, and warranty deed for the right-of-way parcel, which is 0.8 acres, as well as a 0.022 acres for the permanent construction easement.
Okay, thank you, Zane. Are there any questions anyone would have? If not, is there a motion to approve J1?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Pass. Thank you.
Under item K, grants and grant proposals. Under K1 regarding TDM and FEMA Public Assistance Program. Judge, we don't have any updates for this week, so we can just move on from that item.
Okay.
Under K2 regarding the Homeland Security Grant Division FY 2022 Border Prosecution Unit Grant ratification of resolution. On March 16th, this is the one that Nelson Barnes presented to court. The submission of the application required a resolution just stating that the court agrees to return funds in the event of loss or misuse of those funds, and it also designates the county judge as the authorized official. So we just need a motion to approve the ratification of that resolution.
All right. Is there a motion to approve K2?
So move.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any discussion? No discussion. Call for a vote. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass. Thank you.
K3 is regarding the Texas Indigent Defense Commission FY21 Formula Grant Acceptance of Grant Award. We received notification that our grant totals $188,276 for indigent defense services. This is down from last year. This is the formula grant that is based on our population, and then also based in part on actual expenses.
Okay. Any questions anyone have? If not, is there a motion to approve K3?
So moved.
Have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass.
Under K6 regarding U.S. Department of Treasury Emergency Rental Assistance Program, authorization of reimbursement request from the city of Waco. This is on the agenda. Should we have received any requests? Francis, did we receive anything we need to take action on?
No, sir, not as of yet. But leaving this on the agenda will allow us to receive them last minute and then get them on there for approval so they can quickly be paid.
Okay, so no action needed. Under K7,
This is regarding the FY 2022-2023 OAG Victim Coordinator and Liaison Grant Program, authorization of grant application, resolution, and related documents. DA's office would like to reapply for this. This is a grant we've received for quite some time. Grant term is up to 2 years from September 1st, 2021 through August 31st, 2023. There are no match requirements, but the funding can max out at $45,000 per fiscal year.
all right, are there any questions? Not, is there a motion to approve K7?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
Under item L, Department and Office Specific Requests, L1, Specialty Court Authorization of Phone Request. Calling Lisa or David Nyhard.
Hello, Ms. Lisa. This is a request from the Specialty Courts Office. It looks like they have a new position and they are in need of a new phone there. We do have a phone and license in our inventory, so there would be no additional expenses to this request.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass.
L2's tax assessor collector authorizations regarding designation of McLennan County homestead exemption for the 2021 tax roll. This was submitted by the tax office. The appraisal district had requested the status of our homestead exemptions to be offered on the 2021 tax roll. Currently, we offer the county homestead is 20% with the $5,000 minimum. County 65 and over or disabled homestead is 20%, $5,000 minimum plus $35,000. So Randy's just seeking just assurance that we will continue that level for 2021.
All right, any discussion on that? If not, is there a motion to approve L2?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass.
Item L4, County Sheriff, authorization of cell phone request. Ken?
Yes, sir. We've had a request for 2 cell phones, one for the sheriff, one for the chief deputy. The monthly service for each iPhone will be $39.99 plus applicable taxes. And of course, we also purchased a phone protection deal. So we respectfully submit this to you. Oh, well, let me say, the sheriff's office has the budget to support these new phones, and we respectfully submit this information for your consideration.
Thank you. Any questions for Ken? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
L5, purchasing authorization of online auction with Renee Bates, related ad, and order declaring certain property as surplus and authorizing disposition of same. Ken?
Yeah, we have 38 lots ready for the online auction. We have some items in the purchasing department, some at the Cobb's building, some at the radio shop, and then Road and Bridge Precinct 3 and Road and Bridge Precinct 1. The auction is scheduled for April 9th and to close on April 23rd, if the court is good with that.
Okay, any questions? No questions. There a motion to approve K5?
So move.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
Under item M, additional items for discussion and possible action. Under M2, discussion regarding healthcare plan audit and related engagement agreement with Messier 42 LLC. They have received some of the data from Baylor Scott & White, so this audit is now progressing. Judge, if we could, we can just keep this deferred and keep it on the agenda in case we need to take any action.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to defer.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to defer. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose?
Aye.
Pass.
M3, selection designation of public members of the Salary Grievance Committee regarding the FY22 budget. Below is the list of, in your packets, the list of names selected by the court on March 16th, and I don't believe any action is needed at this time.
Thank you.
Under M4 is discussion and or action regarding hosting of court night for 2021 North and East County Judges and Commissioners Conference. M4A is authorization of appearance agreement with Holly Tucker. Judge, I know Latrunda had been working with Holly's team and sent this contract over. After reviewing it, we visited with Wes, and we think it's a better fit for the fair to enter into this contract and then to seek reimbursement from us from the sponsorships that have been received. So it's our recommendation that we can pull this with no action at this time.
Yeah, and that's the purpose for that is primarily that the venue have to offer lighting and things that the Heart Texas Fair folks would have to put together, so they need to understand what's required of them in the contract. So it makes sense. Any questions anyone would have? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Judge, we actually, this would be us entering into the contract with Holly Tucker's team, so we can just pull with no action.
Okay. All right, pull with no action. Thank you.
M5 is authorization of appointments to the McLennan County 911 Emergency Assistance District Board of Directors. This is the authorization of the reappointment of Ben Perry and Frank Patterson to those boards for a 2-year term.
Okay, I make a motion, we approve M5. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? Pass.
Under M6, discussion and or action regarding proposed pending state federal legislation, legislative issues. Judge, we continue to monitor state legislation and the American Rescue Plan Act, and still waiting on the Treasury to issue their guidance. So we'll continue to monitor that. I don't know if any of the commissioners have anything specific they'd like to discuss today.
All right.
Yes, Dustin.
Yes, sir.
I know that there's several pending bills that have been filed in Austin. In a meeting I was in last night, one of them that certainly got my attention was a bill that was filed, and I apologize for not remembering the number or anything like that. You may be familiar with it. It deals with definition of a debt for a county or a city, and it defines it pretty narrowly, that it has to be basically voter approved, which would eliminate a lot of opportunities or a lot of avenues that we currently have to issue certificates of indebtedness or obligation or whatever. So are you familiar with that, and is that something that we need to be concerned with?
I think it is something that we do need to be concerned with. I had heard a little bit about it, just similar to haven't really studied it much. I don't know if Frances has seen anything with her auditors society that she keeps up with, but we will certainly monitor it and reach out to TAC and CUC for assistance as well.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Will, do you have any information on that?
It's out there. Haven't gotten any updates from CUC about where it is or anything like that.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
It'll be in the CUC list. We can see where it's at.
Okay.
Best thing to do though is to email our representatives from McLennan County, and then the speaker and
Lieutenant Governor. Yeah.
with our opposition.
Yeah.
Senator Birdwell may actually chair that particular committee that's dealing with that bill.
Well, we'll get more information, and if there's, if TAC or Jim Allison or CUC recommends that we issue some kind of communication to our representatives, we will get that out and circulate it around the court.
Yeah, I think any of these bills that pertain to, local control, things like that, having a good relationship with our local delegation really helps.
Right. Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, Dustin.
All right, we can drop down to M8, McLennan County Children's Protective Services Board, authorization of board appointment. This is an authorization to appoint Patricia King to the CPS board. Background check has came back good, and she's been approved by CPS board, which I serve on, along with several other county officials. So we would like to make the recommendation to the court that she be appointed to the board.
Okay, what's the pleasure of the court on M8?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
M9 is authorization of order declaring certain property as surplus and authorizing the sale of said surplus property. I'd like to call on Ken or David Ives.
So, Ken, do you want to do this or?
I can. I've got the stuff right here. I was informed by the sheriff's office that they have a dog bite suit that they no longer need. They don't train the dogs to bite anymore. The Lorena PD would like to have that suit. And the way the statute reads is we need to sell to another local government. So we just put in a nominal fee to sell that dog bite seat to Lorena PD.
Okay. All right, is there a motion to approve M9?
I would make one comment, Judge, that if they need a dog that bites, I think the president has one. He might be able to loan them.
You got two, I mean. Okay, besides that comment, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass.
M10 is authorization of fixed asset transfer forms. These are asset transfers from various departments. You'll see these listed in your packet. There are some from HR to IT inventory, and then also a transfer from County Court at Law Number 2 to the 54th District Court.
Okay, under K10, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve M10.
I mean M10, excuse me. Thank you.
Second.
Motion been made and second to approve M10. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Oppose? Pass.
Under M11, authorization of refund requests for overpayment of real estate taxes. Judge Randy Riggs submitted a letter to the court. There is a statute that guides this process where if the taxpayer applies to the tax assessor and collector requesting a refund for an overpayment, the tax assessor can issue those. However, if the amount of the refund exceeds $2,500, it actually has to come to the governing body. So that's what's before us today, and there is a list of those in your packet. But the statute does say that the governing body is the one that has to approve these refunds when it exceeds $2,500.
Right. All right, and I think we do this each year. All right, is any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve M11?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Thank you.
M12 is authorization of orders accepting donations. Under M12A is regarding monetary donations for the cold case unit, and M12B is donations for the specialty court programs. So Judge, those donations are listed in the packet, and if y'all need any additional information, I know Francis is on as well.
Okay. Any questions anyone would have? All right, is there a motion to approve M12 and M12A and M12B regarding donations to those specific areas?
Move to approve M12A and M12B.
All right, is there
Second.
a motion made and second? Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
M13 is discussion and or action regarding temporary installation of POTS line for pretrial intervention program and hot checks department offices. Ken or Lisa?
Yes. This is a memo to inform the court of an emergency installation, as Dustin just identified. We had to install an AT&T phone line to support a fax need on March 11th or sometime in March. Well, on March 11th, we were notified that one of the offices needed to be relocated. And in the new facility, we were able to support their technology services with the exception of that fax line. So the IT management group and purchasing consulted and proceeded with that installation. There is a monthly recurring charge of $20.85. There was a one-time charge for installation that I believe comes to about $101. At the time that we are ready to disconnect, there will be no disconnect fee.
Okay. Any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve M13?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass.
M14 is authorization of Texas Association of Counties Automobile Physical Damage and Auto Liability Claim Report Total Loss Settlement. This is a total loss settlement from TAC totaling $18,750 for a 2016 Tahoe that received extensive damage and was a total loss.
Okay, any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve M14?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones, Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
Under item N, Americans with Disabilities Compliance Project, N1, authorization of professional service invoice with CPNY. This is their invoice totaling $11,779.25 for their February ADA services.
All right, under N1, is there any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve N1?
I would move to approve, but I do have one question, Judge.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Yes, sir.
Is this is there an end to this? How long this was? I know they're looking at all of our facilities. Do we have a ending date for this as far as when they will complete their work?
Commissioner Smith, unfortunately, we don't. We've made great progress with it. And like what was on the agenda earlier today with the MHMR Crisis Center, moving forward with some of those ADA projects, then at the Heart of Texas Fair, the remaining list will be some items at the courthouse. And then when the Department of Justice was here, they failed to survey some county facilities. And the biggest one of those is the records building. So we'll be turning our attention to it next. And unfortunately, it will be a large expense just due to some of the ramps on the backside of the building, but they are things that we do need to address. So we can't give you an end date, but we have made substantial progress, and I can say that the Department of Justice is pleased with at how we've attacked these issues.
Good. Okay. I appreciate that. And I understand it was a major undertaking
Yeah.
when you consider all of our facilities and what needed to be done. And certainly we need to get in compliance. So I
Well,
appreciate
and
that.
additionally, the federal government never stops adding new rules and regulations. So
Correct.
where we evaluated things back when we started this in 2014 or 15, some of the regulations change, so we'll have to keep monitoring that and looking at that.
Absolutely.
Okay, we have a motion in a second.
I had a question also. Dustin, I thought we were released from their oversight.
We still have to have our independent licensed architect review, and we still are submitting documents to them. It's just not a direct. all the issues that they identified and that the independent licensed architect identified still have to be fixed. It's just not as direct as a interaction with them.
Okay, if there's no other questions, is there a motion to approve N1?
Judge, we have a motion.
Oh, we have a motion and a second. Okay, thank you. All right, all in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
Under item O, McLennan County Venue Project, under O2 regarding the construction manager at risk agreement with John W. Irwin. General contractor, O2A is authorization of application and certificate for payment number 26. This payment application totals $277,792. Ken and I have reviewed it. Populous was on site last week and they've reviewed and authorized it as well.
Thank you. All right, if there's any questions, speak now, forever hold your peace. Otherwise, is there a motion to approve O2A?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made. Second, any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
Under item O3 regarding the professional services agreement and related construction materials testing proposal with Langerman Foster Engineering, authorization of invoice number 12496. This invoice totals $2,418 and it was for soil aggregate sampling, strength services, and fill density tests done at the Expo Center.
Okay, any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose? Pass.
Under item P, McLennan County Radio Tower Project, P1, authorization of communication site lease agreement with Department of Public Safety. Judge, we need to keep this deferred. We reached out to DPS last week and we should be getting something back from them soon, but we do request it be deferred at this time.
Thank you. Is there a motion to defer?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass.
Judge, I believe that was all the action items unless I missed one. I do know we have a security executive session that we need to hold in a minute.
Okay, Mercedes, it looked like we covered everything except that. Okay. All right, well, we will go in, we'll have a 2-minute recess and we'll come back under executive session, under section number 551.076 of the government code, deliberation regarding security. It is 11:27.
The recording has stopped.
Okay, let's call the meeting back into regular session. It's 10:53. Dustin, I think you had something you wanted to bring up, kind of answering a question that Commissioner Jones had.
Yes, sir. I pulled up that correspondence from the Department of Justice, and I just thought it would be good to read parts of it back into the record, and especially for Commissioner Smith to be able to hear it. And Commissioner Smith, I'll share this letter from the DOJ with you just as soon as we're done with court. But it said in part that we would like to thank McLennan County for working towards performing the remedial actions under our Project Civic Access Settlement Agreement. The department has monitored your county's compliance with the agreement since November 16th, 2015. Since that date, you have submitted documentation, photographs, reports, and other evidence to demonstrate the county's progress. The agreement was to remain into effect for 3 years per paragraph 69. Based upon the submissions by McLennan County during the past 3 years, the department is no longer requiring that the county provide the department with yearly reports. However, the county's obligation remains to complete all remedial actions and to comply with all ADA requirements. So we still have to comply with those requirements. And in terms of CP&Y being our independent licensed architect, they are certifying that the actions that we are taking are compliant with ADA. So it's important, and under the terms of the agreement, we are to have them as part of it. It will help us in the future with their documentation in case there are any questions, and then also with the Texas accessibility standards, such as issues at the Expo Center and the Heart of Texas Fairgrounds. We're going through that TOS review on those fixes as well. So just wanted to thank you, Commissioner Jones, for pointing that out, and just wanted to read it back into the record, just that way get it back out in front of everybody.
I appreciate that, Dustin. I certainly wasn't really, I guess, questioning the length of that as much as I was wondering if there was a deadline for us to complete all the actions that had to be done. So.
Yes, sir. There was, under the initial agreement, it was that 3-year period, and there were just so many of them that we weren't able to do it during that time. But we had a really great working relationship, and still do, with the Department of Justice. And so we are just kind of methodically moving along and attacking those. Like we said, the records building will be a big one. But TJ and our group's kind of working on plans for being able to attack it and get it compliant as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
And Commissioner Smith, it's a question I ask quite often. Is Dustin gonna test? How long is this thing going? I mean, All right. Any other questions about that? If not, anything else to discuss? I know that we will be doing department head reviews. We'll be setting a date for that if we haven't already. Dustin, do you know if we've set a time?
Yes, sir. Anna was reaching out. The plan was to do them during the next court session, the afternoon of April the 20th, and then recess and reconvene into the afternoon on the 21st, on that Wednesday afternoon.
Right. That's if we need all that time to do that.
Yes, sir.
So there'll be information coming to the commissioners to start that process.
And this is how we did it last year, with the department heads being a part of the incentive pay plan. I know in prior years we had done those reviews to coincide with budget time. Last year we did them at the end of March into April, and then we will bring back an incentive pay list to the Commissioners Court for y'all to decide how to distribute that to the department heads sometime in May.
Okay. Anything else to come before the court? If not, it's 11:57 and we stand adjourned.